Hey everyone, it's Kev Report, and today I'm gonna review WandaVision. Wait, why am I in black and white? What? Hold on. Let's get into it. Before we get into this video, make sure you are subscribed. Just hop onto my channel and click on the red subscribe button. Also, make sure you click on the notification bell so that every time I upload, it'll be right on your phone. Now, let's get back into the video. So I have watched the entire miniseries of WandaVision, and I gotta say, it's a pretty great show. It's really good. It's a solid addition to the MCU and also a great way to start Phase 4. However, the show is not without its flaws, so today I thought, let's talk about something that I loved and I did enjoy, and some things that I was like, not so sure about that. So in this part of the video, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but later on, there are some things that I want to talk about that have some spoilers for you. So don't worry, I will warn you guys when it's coming. So WandaVision starts off with Wanda and Vision in this world. And that's pretty much what they give you, right? They're in this world that's so much different than what we've already seen from the MCU. In fact, Vision is supposed to be dead. Vision is supposed to be dead, and he's hanging around with Wanda in this world. So you already know that something's not right. When the first 2 episodes came out, I knew they were already going to be inspired off of sitcoms each decade, right? Each decade had a specific sitcom they were inspired off of, and I think the 50s was I Love Lucy, and there was some Dick Van Dyke, and I've got to say, I never watched those shows, so I can't say that I'm a fan. And I wasn't a fan of these 2 first episodes. Like, yes, we've come from a world in the MCU where Thanos killed half of the universe, and then they had to bring them all back. And it's a really weird take. Like, we start off Phase 4 with a scene with Wanda and Vision in Westworld. I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 episodes I wasn't a fan of. If it wasn't a Marvel show, I probably would not have watched it. One thing that I do want to point out is that Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are phenomenal in this show. They are phenomenal in this show. I mean, of course, duh, it's called WandaVision. Yes, I know, but you know, every scene they were in, they stole the show from me. As a matter of fact, even the side characters are great. We got Agnes, who was really good, Monica Rambeau, who was nice. We got Jimmy Woo, he was more of a comedic relief, but he was an interesting character. We got Darcy Lewis, who no one really cared in the first 2 Thor movies, and became a much more likable person in this show. Now for this part of the video, there are some things that I want to talk about that contain spoilers. So if you haven't watched the show, I suggest you watch it before coming back to this video. Alright, so just spoiler warning for all of you who haven't watched it. So as I've said it before, the first 2 episodes didn't really grab me. They were not really interesting. It was just Wanda in this world with Vision, and there were a couple of teases to the real world. But then episode 3 started. That's when we started to pick up some steam, you know. In the 3rd episode, that's when things really took a different turn. It was more of the same world building, but then in a better way than the first 2 episodes. A really good thing that happened in this episode was when Wanda gave birth to twins. She was with Monica Rambeau, and Monica says something that completely triggers Wanda. And the next scene, we cut from Wanda and Monica is not in the house, which makes us wonder what happened, right? And I like that sense of mystery, because not only did she say something that triggered Wanda, but it says something that triggered us into thinking she's not from that world. She's from the MCU, you know, the one that we're grown so accustomed to. So I really enjoy that part. Then episode 4 comes out, and it completely answers all of our questions, well, the viewers' questions, because by the end of the episode 3, we're still very confused about this world. So episode 4, it was an episode that we needed. It was an episode that we needed. Because not only did we get Monica Rambeau's backstory, but we got some old familiar faces. And we got to know why is this entire thing happening. You know, we also got some of the answers that we had, like some of the answers of the teaser that we had. That's when we get to episode 5. And episode 5 for me is the best episode of the show. Okay, for me, but I don't know about you, but like for me, it's my favorite. Episode 5 starts and Wanda and Vision, they already had kids, and suddenly these kids grow old because Wanda's already doing her magic and all. But what I really liked in this episode was Vision. Vision was really good because Vision starts getting suspicious of Wanda. I really like the scene where Vision is working and they all receive this email from the outside world with Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy. And they all start reading it in a very robotic voice. And Vision goes to his coworker Norm, who's a really good actor, by the way. Who's all happy and all. And Vision does this to bring him back to normal and stuff. And he's all scared because he wants to see his family and all. And then that triggers Vision to think, oh, something's up. It's definitely Wanda. Wanda's doing something to everyone here in this world of Westview. And then he puts it back and he comes back to normal and he's still all happy and all. That was a really good scene. And this leads to an epic confrontation, which probably one of the best scenes of the entire show. He confronts Wanda and looks like they are ready to fight. And then by the end of the episode, we get Quicksilver. Kind of. I mean, it's Evan Peters from the X-Men universe. Obviously, my mind was blown because we all know when he showed up, when Evan Peters showed up, we all knew what was happening. We all thought multiverse, right? His appearance was really, I enjoyed it. You know, even though by the end, I was like, oh man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. They could have done so much more, but I enjoyed it. Then episode 6 happens, and it's really good. Quicksilver is already part of the family. Vision is still suspicious of Wanda. In fact, he travels to this place, and this place feels like an anomaly of the Wanda, the world that they are in, right? Everyone just stopped like this, and then we get to the scene with Vision and Agnes. Agnes is just like the others, like this. Vision does the mind trick thing, that he did with Norm. And then she says something that resonates with us, right? She says, Vision, you're supposed to be dead. That'll snatch the Mind Stone out of your head. You're not even supposed to be walking. You're supposed to be gone. Vision. That's when we get to this point. Vision does not know he's dead. You know? He's just there thinking nothing happened with him and Wanda. And that's it. He doesn't know what happened to him. That was really good for this episode. He tries to leave the Hex, but then we find out that he can't because he will die. He is part of the Hex, you know? He's glued to the world. He's glued to that world. That's something that I really liked in this episode and in this show. And then Wanda, one of her kids find out that he's in danger, and then Wanda expands the world because we know Wanda has something to do with this, and Wanda just completely expands the whole world, bringing some of the people in. Darcy Lewis came in, some of the people from SWORD came in. I was like, okay, so Wanda's doing some stuff. Wanda's doing some shady stuff. After episode 6, things started to get a little confusing to me. That's when I think the quality dipped. One thing that I gotta point out that I didn't really enjoy, Monica Rambeau, not the character. She was doing all right so far, but then she makes the decision to be like, I want to go into the Hex. Monica just says, I can go in. She goes through the Hex. She starts seeing some weird stuff, and boom, she enters the Hex. with new powers. I was like, that was lame. That was lame. The character was doing good so far. I feel like you could have given her a better origin story. I did not like that at all. Anyways, she goes to Wanda, tries to confront her, which is a dumb idea. I mean, it's Wanda's show. You're gonna get defeated. You're gonna get defeated. No. To be like, I'm just messing with you. But like, they confront each other. They tease a big fight scene, and Agnes intervened. Another thing that I thought really confusing was when they revealed the villain. Agnes is apparently Agatha Harkness. Why? In the like, no, I'm not saying why because of Agnes, and all this stuff. But I think to myself, you have 2 episodes left to develop this character into a big villain. I'm like, here's the thing. When I liked Agnes when she was Agnes, not Agatha. Agatha Harkness was like, I just didn't care much about it. While I didn't enjoy episode 8 that much, there were some things that I was like, this is powerful. This is powerful. Like, there was a scene with Wanda and Vision, and Wanda was grieving, and they had a really good conversation about grief, like because she lost her brother, Pietro, and Vision just starts saying some stuff that I was like, oh my God, I never really seen it that way. What is grief if not love persevering? And I was like, this is powerful stuff right there, man. This is powerful stuff. Like I didn't know, like it hit me that deep. I was like, wow. I wish we had more of those type of scenes in the show, because there were some scenes that they probably could have done in this show, like those type of scenes and all. We also get to see her origin story, like how her parents died, and what was it? How she created this world, this hex, right? She was at Sword headquarters, and she was talking to the main guy at Sword. It was a really good episode. She was like, I want to give him a proper burial. He was having none of it. He was like, you can't have him. He's not yours. He's not yours. And he's right. He's not yours. Vision is not yours, Wanda. You might have dated him, but like, he's government property. What was it? Billions of dollars just given to you so you could do whatever you want with it? No, it doesn't work like that. I don't think it works like that, Wanda. She feels his head. She's like, I can't feel you. That was a really nice fan service moment because of Infinity War. Then that's the reason why she created this world. She goes into the city of Westview with all the people who are now living in the hex that she created. She goes into this house. Well, it's not really a house, right? It's all destroyed. There's just some bricks that surround the house. And she starts crying and all. And then she's having none of it. She just creates this world. She's just like, she opens her arms and she creates this world. And then you find out that Vision is not really Vision. This is a vision that Wanda created with her powers from the Mind Stone. Not from the Mind Stone, like that from an enhancement, So I was like, oh, okay, so that's clever. The finale, for me, it didn't conclude well. Not because of the fan theories, not because of the cameos. I'm sure if there were cameos, if it fit with the story, great. But I just don't think the conclusion was good for the MCU, For example, we got Quicksilver, right? And we were all excited for him, because it was Evan Peters and he was from the X-Men. We were gonna get the multiverse, right? Yeah, no, he was not from the multiverse. In fact, he was just some neighbor, some guy who lived in Westview. Like, I feel like it was just Marvel trolling us viewers to watch their content. One thing that I really liked in this episode was Vision. So Sword built this white Vision to take out Vision, However, when we find out on episode 8 that he's not really Vision, he's Wanda's imagination, like figment of the Mind Stone and all that, he convinces White Vision to not kill him because he's not really Vision, right? Because that's White's Vision goal. And so I really enjoyed that. The conversation with that, it was awesome. I didn't enjoy Wanda versus Agatha though. I thought, for me, it's just, look, I'm not into the witchcraft stuff, and so I just got lost. I got confused. I got confused. I didn't enjoy that. I mean, she becomes Scarlet Witch. I like the new suit. I like the new suit. After the scene, after the whole Vision and Wanda scene, after they say their goodbyes for now, she goes to Monica, right? In the city of Westview, which is gone, but they're all looking at Wanda because they all know it's her. They all know it's Wanda. Rightfully so, because she did a horrible thing. She goes to Monica, and Monica literally says to her, "They will never know how much you sacrifice." And I'm here like, what? No. She built this whole world for her benefit. She mentally enslaves these people to do her bidding just because, just because she was grieving. But she's the villain here. She's the villain here. If anything she's supposed to be doing, she should turn around to the people of Westview and apologize. And look, I know they might not forgive you. They probably won't, but it's the most heroic thing you could possibly do right now, Wanda. And turn yourself, to the authorities. No, she doesn't do all that. In fact, she apologizes to Monica, but here's what I don't get. Monica's one of the only winners of this situation. She got powers. She got the powers because of Wanda, because she built this whole hex. She's the only winner out of everyone there. If anything, she should be thanking you, Wanda. But one thing that they really teased us that is really good, that it might be really good going forward with the MCU, is the post-credit scene of this show, of like the last episode. It's Wanda in the mountains, but however, the shot was just the mountains, right? And it just goes on to Wanda. And Wanda is in like some house. The camera just kept moving, it didn't cut. And she's drinking her coffee and the camera just goes into this room. It turns right, and it's Scarlet Witch reading this book of the Darkhold. And I'm here thinking, she is definitely looking like a big villain. For me, it looks like they are preparing Wanda to do some horrible things in the Marvel Universe. And if they do that, like, I would be down. That would be awesome to have the Avengers versus Wanda. I mean, she just became the most powerful Avenger in the MCU. If she wasn't already, she's already more powerful than she's the most powerful she has ever been. Overall, I think this is great. I like there were some missteps, but I like the way they're going, with this. I'm gonna give this a B+. A B+. I really enjoyed it. So guys, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.